Well, hi everybody, it's Penny here again, and I just wanted to take 5 minutes just to go over how to register someone into your business. So as you know, you buy a registration pack from Amway, and inside that pack, you're going to get a really nice welcome letter from Amway with your 2 cards. These do not have magnetic strips on. They're not worth anything, but it's purely useful just to be able to put into your wallet or your purse with your Amway business number. So your Amway business number is what's really important here. You can always save this number also on your phone, is a good idea, or maybe just put one of these cards in your wallet and another one in a safe place at home. Then you will also get your Amway registration form and a couple of other bank forms, etc., but we'll get into these a little bit later. Another very important part of your registration pack is your rules and regulations. Now, I know some of you are like really perspiring now and your eyes are glazing over and like you're really not interested, but do yourself a favor. Just go through this at least once with a highlighter. Just underline anything you're not sure of, because I think you'll be quite amazed at what really is possible for us to do as Amway business owners. And Amway Global is always looking at trends and technology and how the way that we do business is changing all the time. And they are incorporating that into their updated rules and regulations. So you really need to be on top of this. And that's just a reminder to me myself just to go through it one more time with the new updates that have just come out as well. Then you're going to find a catalog in your registration pack, and what's really neat about the design that they've put together for us is that there's a color coding on the side of the pages, so you can quickly see the red is the beauty. Well, of course, it stands to reason. We need so many beauty products and skincare products and color products to stay looking as beautiful as we are. The green is, as Ken always says, this is the key to this business because that's your health. And that's all the awesome Neutralite products are right there. And then you've got the blue section, which is your home care and gourmet, etc., etc. And right at the back, you've got a gray section. And I think sometimes we really forget to emphasize this with new people. You should just encourage them to go straight to, I think it's page 228. 224, and this is a whole section on the business with some really useful information, the different packs that you can buy, the delivery processes and costs involved with delivery, and just an explanation of how some of the Amway policies work and the pricing works in the catalog, for example. So really, really valuable. And then what I like to suggest to people to do is on the block on the back of your catalog, just do yourself a favor and put that person's line of sponsorship. So when they in turn are going to be registering people into their business, they don't have to phone you and try and get hold of you because they're not sure what their line of sponsorship is. Write it down for them clearly here, plus also your contact details so that they can get hold of you easily when there's a query. Please also note there is a toll-free number available for Amway Southern Africa, and I think sometimes we forget to emphasize that, so that's really helpful and useful so that people that have questions and you're not available, you can't answer those questions. And anyway, why should you? Because the staff at Amway are fully professional and much more equipped than you are to answer all the different questions. So definitely make sure that they know how to get hold of Amway to answer all of their questions. You also just want to make sure that your new registration, your new Amway business owner has also seen the DVD. If they don't have a DVD player, which is very rare nowadays, most people, most homes, even the poorest homes, have a DVD player, and it is the most often used device around the country. So just make sure that they have actually seen the exact explanation of the business model. It's really simple, really easy. They'll definitely be able to get their head around all the details. And plus, this is a tool that they can use again and again and again to show other people about the business. They don't have to be the expert. They don't have to wait for you. They can just get on with building the business in their own time. So this is really, really helpful. Thank you, Amway, so much for making this available. And it has got different languages, which is also so important. So isiXhosa, Zulu, etc. here on that. And then there's a great brochure that Amway put together, just showing like the most important product ranges and giving a brief explanation of the money. I think it can be a little bit overwhelming for a new person just looking at all the detail in terms of like how the money is broken down. But try and guide them and just give them the basic idea. Level 1, you're going to be earning about this much, level 2 this much, level 3 this much, so that people have got a general idea, and then they can say to you, okay, goal number 1 is level 1, goal number 2, and they've got an idea of the kind of money that's involved. Now, the most important part I've left for last, which is the registration form itself. And as you can see, it's kind of divided into 2 parts. So the first part is really personal information, their names, their surnames, their ID number. South African ID number is very, very important. If they are not from South Africa or maybe Namibia or Botswana, obviously they've got their passport details that go in there. And if it's an international passport, just remember that you will need a photocopy of their passport where their picture of their face is. You will need a photocopy of that to submit together with the form. Okay, so they can still register with Amway, but you will need that photocopy of their passport. If you have a South African ID, you don't need a photocopy. You can just fill in your South African ID number and that will be fine. You definitely need to make sure that you've got your delivery address, your physical address in here. It won't be processed without that information. You'll see that it does ask you for tax information, but if you don't have that's not an official requirement at this stage. You will need to sign at the bottom. That's really important. Your signature and the date is absolutely vital. The process won't happen unless you've actually completed that. And then also that you will see that on the other side, there is space at the top for the line of sponsorship. I'm going to come back to that. And then your bank account details where your commission, Amway commission, is going to be paid into. It's not for a debit order. Please explain that clearly. It's for Amway to pay you. So it is helpful that you put those bank details in straight away. If you are not sure what your details are, you can submit that later, but then you will need to complete the bank form. Now, there is a bank form that comes together with all of these other pieces of paper, and I strongly recommend, just as a safety feature, and Amway staff have actually emphasized this a few times, please just get into the habit always of encouraging people to fill this bank form out. It's right here on all of your forms here, and you must put your Amway business number at the top plus their name. They take it to their bank, fill out their account details. The bank is going to put their bank stamp where it says bank stamp, and then bring that back and hand it into business services, or if you're not close to an Amway center, then you need to post it to business services. There is a postal address, I believe, on the form. Okay, so that is very important, just to confirm your banking details. If your banking details do change, all that will happen is that you won't lose your money. It will just sit in what we call an AR account, an accounts receivable account, and you will be able to have that money paid to your new account once you've submitted the new information. So just bear that in mind, that this is often an issue where we find people have not filled in their bank details and there is money accumulating for them, but they never receive it because they've never actually submitted their bank details. So you definitely want to be careful about that. At the top here, the top 2 sections, this is the most important part of your registration form, and this is called the line of sponsorship. And this is critical to get right. If you get it wrong, it's very, very difficult, if not impossible, to change. So I really want to suggest to you that if you're brand new and you're doing this for the first time, double check with the person that invited you into the business or the active leader that you're working together with, and make sure that you've got this correct. If someone is being added to your frontline, then you would be the sponsor number 1, and then we go up the next person on top of you, and the next person on top of that person. So you actually go up the line in terms of those two numbers. So you probably will not have that information up front. You need to get that from the person that has put you into the business. If you're stuck, call me. I'll help you out. And certainly, as long as you can recall the first person here, then Amway Business Services will normally help you out with the next one or next two. So this is very, very important. If you are the new person that's signing up and you really not sure how to fill this in, someone would have invited you to join. Make sure that you check with them. If they are with you, obviously that's easy. If they're not with you and you can't get hold of them, then please just drop me a line or WhatsApp me or email me, and I'll be able to help you with that. So I hope this helps. This is a really, really important form. I've left a couple of blocks out, and that is because the international section or the multiple business section, normally you just put a line through those. And this section here, which is payment details, if you are not at an Amway center, this is what you would fill out to pay for your order at the bottom if you are not actually close to an Amway center and you need to obviously make a payment for your first order. Okay, so just to remember that there are 3 copies for your registration form. There is a yellow copy, a pink copy, and a white copy. Now, the white copy always must go to Amway. This is really important. So even if you're not close to an Amway center, then you need to post this through to Amway so that they can put it in their archives. It's really, really important. So make sure that you always do that. And then you can just check and see, I think the pink copy is for the applicant and the yellow copy is for the sponsor. And if ever you forget, it reminds you here exactly what color goes to who. All right. So I hope this helps, and you can see how easy it is to use the registration form. Remember, if you're doing it online, you still have to have a registration form because you still have to have the number that you're going to fill in. Okay, so really, really important that you always have at least 2, 3, or 4 registration forms with you at any time. You can buy them from Amway. Either you can order them separately or you can buy them from the Amway shops or centers directly over the counter, and they're 70 rands each. So that's it for now, and cheers for now, and see you at the top. Cheers.